So this is my mini laboratory. Here you can see all the experimental setup, and here I have written the table related to properties of matter. So these are the properties, many important properties. We already saw arrangement of particles in the data classes. Here I have put the clay so that you can make out the atoms how they are arranged in solid, liquid, and gases. I expect you to do the same homework. As I had said you in the previous class, you have to use clay for the next class. This is what you have to make. Okay, so you have to prepare how the molecules are arranged in solid, liquid, and gas. So in solids, the molecules or atoms are tightly packed, as you can see here. In liquids, the molecules are loosely packed, and in gases, the atoms or molecules are very loosely packed. Okay, then the second property is related to mass. So mass of the solid. So to prove that the mass of the solid is fixed, and here I have taken the weighing balance. Okay, so with this help of weighing balance, I have made it to zero. I have taken my son's bag, which is very heavy, and I am weighing this solid on this weighing balance. It is showing almost 4 kg. Okay, so 4 kgs of weight you can see here, around 4 kgs. Okay, 5 kgs it is showing. Then I'll be keeping this liquid water. Okay, so I have filled water in this watering gardening water thing instrument, and around 1500 ml of water is there. So we'll see that liquid has a definite mass. Here I have kept it. It is showing around 2 kgs. It is showing around 2 kgs. So this shows that the liquid has a definite mass. So then to prove that gases also have definite mass, here I have taken some 1.5 kg of the cylinder. The cylinder weighs 1.5 kg along with the gas filled in it. It is showing around 4 kg. This shows that the gases also have fixed mass. So the mass of the solid, as we saw there, it is fixed. The mass of the liquid is fixed, and the mass of the gas is also fixed. Coming to volume. So let us see volume of the liquid. So if I keep volume means the space occupied by something. So here I have kept many books. You can see many books I have kept in this. So the space occupied by these books are fixed. Okay, so the solids have fixed volume. So the space occupied by this solid overall has a fixed volume. So let us see what about the liquid. So liquids also have fixed volume. If I take this, here the volume of the liquid in this cylinder is 1500 ml. Okay, so this shows that liquids have definite volume. So if I take this gas cylinder, even this gas cylinder, as I said you, the cylinder weighs 1.5 kg. So here around some 3 kgs of gas is filled. So, but this is a closed cylinder. That's why you will not be able to check whether the gases have same volume. So, I will do a certain experiment so that you can see gases do not have fixed volume. Okay, this cylinder weighs fixedly, but as such the gases do not have fixed volume. This I will do with the help of an experiment.
3.
To show that gases have definite volume, I have taken an incense stick, burning incense stick, and a glass beaker. So say this is around 150 to 200 ml. I will be collecting this gas which is coming from this glass beaker. I have taken transparent one so that you can make out how gases flow inside the beaker. So see, the space which is present in this beaker is now completely occupied by the gas which I have collected. Now I'll take one more beaker of the same type and I'll cover this beaker with the another beaker. So check now. See, the gas which was collected in the first beaker has now flown to the second beaker. So now the volume is around something like 300 ml. So the gas which was in 150 ml has also collected or moved to another beaker, giving something around 300 ml. So it can't be 300, no, it can be only some very less amount. So this shows that the gas flows into the another beaker, filling up the whole space available in the two beakers also. This shows that gases do not have a fixed volume. Then to show the shape of okay, we'll fill up this table. Volume, we saw that solids have fixed volume and we also saw that liquids have fixed volume. 1500 means it is having 1500 only in whatever beaker you take, whereas gases, it occupied the space which is available in 150 plus 150 ml of that beaker. So it doesn't have fixed volume. So you can write no fixed volume. Then coming to the next part, that is shape. The next part is shape. So the shape of the solid. So we already know that we may take anything, this solid or this solid. So all these solids have a definite shape. So coming to liquid. So if I take a liquid in this container, it takes the shape of this container. Can you see? The liquid is taking the shape of this container. I have taken water. If I pour the same liquid into this shaped bottle, it takes the shape of the bottle which is in a different shape. Can you see? So this shows that liquids do not have definite shape. Okay. Then if I come to gas, so here nothing is there means it is gas. So gases do not have definite volume like liquid only. It can take the shape of this bottle, or as I shown you, the cylinder, it also can take the shape of the cylinder, or if you blow a balloon which is of different shapes, it takes the shape of a particular balloon. So we'll fill up this. Solids have definite shape. Liquids no definite shape because it takes the shape of the container, and also gases no definite shape. It takes the shape of whatever container we have kept in it. Then coming to the next part, that is fluidity. So fluidity, the name fluid is given to liquid and gas. Solids can't be called as fluid because you know that liquids and gases can flow. Solid cannot flow. So if I keep this solid, it will not move unless I am giving it or applying a force on it. So solid cannot move unless I am pushing it. Whereas liquid, if I spill a liquid, it flows and occupies the space wherever it is available. For example, you can see in this, the liquid is flowing and filling up the space available in this beaker. In the same way, gases, you can see this incense stick. So the gas is moving and filling up the space available wherever in the room, the space available in the room is filled by the gases, as it can flow from one place to another place. Then coming to, okay, we'll fill up this fluidity. So from this we can see that solids cannot flow, whereas liquid flows, even gases flow. Then the last part is sixth part, compressibility. For this, we need an syringe. So you can take that bigger one, that Dispo one, green color one. I have taken this insulin syringe. So I want you all to do this experiment. So take one syringe. First time you fill the syringe with solid and try to compress. After filling it, try to compress with this piston and record the reading. If you can compress solid, what was the initial value of this piston and the final value of the piston. Record it and put it in a table. Then remove that sand and put water in it and try to apply pressure on it. And see the initial value and the final value. Then just by putting the gas, you spill the water off and hold tightly that knob of the syringe and try to apply pressure through the piston. See how the piston moves from initial value to the final value and record the values, and you have to send the table for me. I'll send the format of the table in the group. You have to fill and send it to me. You can even record the video like what I have done it today, and you can upload it to me, and we'll see how much interested you are in doing the conducting the experiment. So on the whole, compressibility means the solid, liquid or gas, how much it can, when the pressure is applied on solid, liquid and gas, how much it can be compressed. That is called as compressibility. So we'll end the experiments here. Thank you.